local people, local news and events, local sports, local matters. For all things Lloydminster area, this is Live with Kurt Price.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome inside the Canadian Brewhouse in Lloydminster, the go-to place to catch all the Edmonton Oilers playoff action, including Game 4 tonight, which starts in about an hour, with the Oilers up 2-1 over the Dallas Stars. My name is Thomas Wildman. I'm filling in for Kurt Price, who is in Europe on the War Memorial Tour with 22 people from across the Midwest. We remind you that at the new Lloydminster Nissan, they have the best pre-owned selection they've ever had and the guaranteed lowest rates on those vehicles. And right now in the new Lloydminster Nissan Service Department, get 10% service, and the new Lloydminster Nissan Service Department is now open on Saturdays from 9 to 1 for tire work and oil changes. They've got a huge show. We've got a huge show for you tonight with Lloyd Gray and Cory Harvie joining us from the Lea Park Rodeo and the 70th anniversary of that huge local rodeo. We also have Plandowski joining us along with Cailyn Fraser with the U18 Canada West volleyball team. We'll be heading to South Carolina for the Coastal Classic tournament this week. And Wade Redden checks in to chat about the one final drive for healthcare and the Celebrity Golf Classic. Plus, it's going to be Rugby Day in Lloydminster tomorrow, and Stephanie Bargen is one of the co-organizers of that event. Will join us along with Keyanna Bannerman, on that name there, the president of Lloydminster Reapers Rugby. And it's not just a name, it is Superior Water. Superior Water has 2 locations in Lloydminster, and they're open on Sundays to make filling your big blue jugs a lot quicker and easier. And if you want great tasting water right from your tap, call the Superior Water team and ask about their under-the-sink reverse osmosis systems at 780-875-6636. Superior Water open on 57th Avenue, Monday to Friday from 8 to 6, and Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 5. Plus, they have a coin-operated location by 7-Eleven just off Highway 17 South. And we would like to congratulate Stephen and Jessica Kohlhauser, who farm around Paradise Hill, and they are the final Feed the Farmer winners and will receive a delicious roast beef meal on Thursday for lunch. All nominated farmers are now entered to win one of 2 $500 7 Meats gift cards, plus our 4 winners will also be entered to win 160 acres of aerial spray from Bradley Air. Thank you to our tremendous sponsors, Sobeys Lloydminster, Horizon Egg and Turf, Richardson Pioneer, BASF, The Tent Guys, Bradley Air, and Diamond 7 Meats. We also have Cupcakes for Caregivers is presented by Lloydminster Sobeys and the Lloydminster and District United Way, and it's a great way to recognize and thank those special caregivers in our lives. People that includes healthcare professionals, and so you can nominate a nurse, a home care worker, a doctor, a dentist, and a teacher or bus driver. You can also nominate and recognize those people who take care of others in their family or through home care. Nominate a caregiver today, and they could win a dozen signature cupcakes, but it's so much more than that. It's just a great way to show your appreciation, and just send us an email at livewithkurtprice@gmail.com and tell us about that special caregiver. All right, so there we go, guys. And now I'm pleased to welcome Rick Hozack and Cory Harvie to the program. And it's a big year for the award-winning Lea Park Pro Rodeo as they hold their 70th annual Lea Park Rodeo June 6th, 7th, and 8th, where the North Saskatchewan River and the Old Vermilion meet. And so thank you guys so much for joining me today. And 70 years of a world-class rodeo. Just talk to me about how special that is, especially in a smaller community near Lea Park as well.
Well, going for 70 years, like Cory, you've been on the committee a long time. I've been there forever. Lloyd Gray's forever, a long time. To see it come to 70, it's hard to believe we're that old already, but I mean, we've come a long ways in that period of time. We have an incredible facility. Our pens are second to nobody's. Our ground, we've been won awards for our ground. Our committee's phenomenal. We got a good beer gardens. We got good. We just built new suites over the buck and shoots for going into the 70th, and they're all pre-sold, and we're looking really excited to have them out there. We just look to be banging off to a really good 70th anniversary.
Anything to add there, Cory?
Yeah, just to put, everybody used to think, little old Lea Park, but the CPRA puts on 55 pro events a year. And out of them 55 events, there's 16 on the SMS tour, which is the highest paying out rodeos in Canada. And Lea Park is on that tour again. So it's not really little old Lea Park anymore. It's we're right up there with the Ponokas and the big rodeo. So and it is. It's because of our committee and the hard work that we put in, and of course our sponsors.
And so, of course, with the 70th anniversary, there's lots of big things. Dan, you mentioned that there's the new building for more seating for people as well. And so just talk to me a little bit about that, as well as all the other new things that are going to be, and special things that are going to be happening here for the 70th anniversary.
Well, at Lea Park, because we got a small venue and we don't have a lot of room to expand, so we tore our chutes apart and built this building up over top of the chutes. It's been a little more work than we anticipated, but we've got it all put back together and it's gone well. The suites are going to hold 250 to 300 people up there, and they're going to look right down into the bucking chutes and see the Cowboys getting ready. And so a lot of the sponsors bringing their clients there, they're going to get a view that not many people ever get. And it's just a cool little event, and it's going to increase the revenue we're able to produce to keep Lea Park growing forward in the future years. Cory, go on with the...
Yeah, so it's a full 3 days, and actually it starts Thursday with a dance in Marwayne. There's a classic car show and a kids zone, free barbecue. Things then kick off Friday night at 6 with the rodeo. And after the rodeo performance, we have a dance in the beer gardens. Saturday morning in Marwayne at the arena, there's a pancake breakfast that starts at 8 a.m. And then the rodeo starts at 1 o'clock out at Lea Park. After that performance, we have a slack performance at 5:30, which will be team roping, steer wrestling, and tie down roping. And that night, there's the rodeo dance in the Marwayne Arena that starts at 9. And then Sunday morning, we have rodeo slack at 9 a.m., which will be barrel racing and breakaway roping. And we have a morning concert by the Ammon Druids at 10 a.m. And the rodeo starts at 1 o'clock. And then sometime between 1 and 6, we got Global FMX Super Motocross coming. They're coming from Red Deer that morning, so we've kind of left a time slot open for when we can fit them in the performance. And then, of course, we have our truck raffle and our cash draws to end the performance. So it's a full weekend.
Fantastic. And great overview of all the things that are happening. But just for somebody who hasn't been to Lea Park, just tell me a little bit about what sets it apart and some of the other special events that you guys have had for a number of years here, all 70 of them, of course.
Well, one thing we're known for, we have incredible stock. So we have Muxa Pro Rodeo coming, and this year we've got their A-team coming. So they got to buck their horses at a lot of different rodeos, but these horses haven't been bucked this year. They didn't go to Falkland last weekend. They're not going to Leduc this weekend. They're all being rested, and they're coming to Lea Park. So Friday night is the Muxa horses out, and they're going to be, we got Stevie Nicks, who is runner-up to the world 4 times, won Canada 3 times, has a dozen 90-point rides on her already. And so if you draw her, you have a chance to win the rodeo Friday night. You go into Saturday, Sunday, and we got the Calgary Stampede stock there, which is renowned for all their favorite horses. And so we're really known for a great rough stock event. Our ground is good, and so our timed events are all good. We have 504 contestants coming from the U.S., Brazil, and Canada. So our entry's bigger than ever before, and they like coming. So it'll be a big show.
And you mentioned that world class, and so what has, other than the rodeo, of course, being fantastic, been able to draw people from the U.S. and Brazil to come to the event? And, of course, lots of people, even the spectators as well, are coming from across the world as well.
Yeah, for the Cowboys, it'd be the prize money, trying to make the Canadian finals, making that run. And, for the spectators, honestly, you won't find a prettier setting, And, with the new building gone up, there's still times when I pull in and I got to almost pinch myself and go, we really did it. Like, we're doing it. And it's, it is a family atmosphere, it's homemade pies and good BS. You can't go very far and not shake hands with somebody that you haven't seen maybe since last year's rodeo.
Fantastic. And so last 2 questions here. We're going to mix it up a little bit. Fantastic Game 4 here between the Edmonton Oilers and the Dallas Stars. Best place to watch it is here at the Canadian Brewhouse here in Lloydminster. Just What are you guys thinking after those first 3 games and 2 good, very good, dominant performances by the Oilers over the last 2?
Well, I think it's the Oilers. They're on the roll. They're going to come out with a ton of enthusiasm, and Dallas will too. But first goal will be key. I think the Oilers are going to be really, really hard to stop. Skinner's playing well. So I'm saying the Oilers got her tonight.
I'm not a betting man, but and I haven't been to a game, but I heard the atmosphere is second to none in Rogers, and I think Edmonton will take tonight, and I think they'll take the series.
Well, thank you so much. And just finally, to get the last bit here, when and where? Well, where is pretty obvious, but when are we expecting the Lea Park Rodeo to get started here? And just final last little thoughts if we haven't covered them yet.
Well, Thursday night we kick off our sponsor appreciation night, so all our sponsors come, and it's the one night when the committee has time to interact with the sponsors. So we have them a ranch meal, and we're able to have a few drinks, and we can interact with our sponsors. The rest of the week we all work, which we don't have time to socialize with the sponsors. And so Thursday night's the big kickoff, and then we roll right into Friday, and everything will be rolling just the way it's done for years and years and years. So.
Yeah, and so it's Friday night at 6, Saturday and Sunday at 1, and we have Miss Rodeo Lea Park will be there this year, Ainsley Batter, and also Cody Wilson, Miss Rodeo Canada. So they'll be there for the weekend.
Awesome, fantastic. And so that's June 6th, 7th, and 8th is those days.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much to Lloyd and Cory Harvie, Rick, or pardon me, I'm getting my names. Thank you to Rick and Cory. Once again, the Canadian Brewhouse is the place to catch all the Oilers action, and Game 4 starts shortly. So get down to the Canadian Brewhouse and cheer on the Oilers. The game starts in about 40 minutes. Also like to thank BioClean Disaster Services. They are committed and certified reliable and will help you get your life back. They are there for your family through any kind of disaster to take care of your belongings and your property. But more than that, to be there for you and your family. BioClean Disaster Services is not only Lloydminster's local restoration company, they're also Lloydminster's largest restoration company. Call 1-888-1833, 246-8326. And we will take a little bit of a break and be right back to talk Can West, volleyball, and how the 2 girls teams are headed to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina in just a moment.
At CK McKean Roofing, they understand what it took to put that roof over your head for your family. With over 20 years of experience under their belt, they strive to show you that with their workmanship and their integrity. Not all roofing companies are created equal, and that's why CK McKean Roofing encourages you to focus on your most important investments, your home and your family. CK McKean Roofing. Roofers do it on top.
At Diamond 7 Meats, we work with local farm families to provide a high-quality product and a great selection for you. Try our mouth-watering smokies, pulled pork, roast beef, and more, made pure and natural with no additives or fillers. We offer custom processing, and our experienced team works for you to provide a selection of sausage, burgers, and jerkies made to your specifications. Take your grilling to the next level with a Yoder smoker. Complete the grilling experience with a Canadian-made, award-winning line of House of Q barbecue sauces. We're locally owned and operated, and we look forward to seeing you today.
At the new Lloydminster Nissan, we're proud to offer the guaranteed lowest rates on used vehicles and the best selection we've ever had. Stop in today and you'll find clear pricing on all of our pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. And right now you'll save 10% on our service department. That's 10% on parts and labor on all makes and models. Call the new Lloydminster Nissan at 780-875-3335 to make your appointment today. At the new Lloydminster Nissan, we won't sell you a car, we'll help you buy one.
Welcome back, folks, and spend less time chasing wind speeds and more time doing what matters. Bradley Air Spray takes care of your mid-season applications with speed, precision, and zero crop damage. No ruts, no delays, just fast, effective coverage that protects your yield and preserves your time. Plan to attend their grand opening on June 18th at the Lloydminster Airport, where you could win 160 acres of spraying. Call or text 780-205-7767. That's 780-205-PROP. Bradley Air Spray, because your time is worth more. We welcome you back to the Canadian Brewhouse, where the anticipation is growing for Game 4 of the Western Conference Final between the Oilers and the Stars, and the Canadian Brewhouse is your place to catch all the Oilers' Stanley Cup playoff action. We're joined now by Ty Plandowski, and Ty is taking 2 CanWest volleyball teams to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina to compete in the Coastal Classic Tournament. One of those players is Cailyn Fraser with the U18 CanWest volleyball team, and we're excited to welcome her to the broadcast as well. And so thank you both so much for joining me today. And so let's start. Tell me a little bit about CanWest volleyball and kind of how both of you got involved in it to start.
Yeah, so I started CanWest Sports Group about 4 years ago now. I started off when I was at Lakeland College helping with the men's volleyball wrestlers team. And it's kind of grown over the past 4 years into a way to give Saskatchewan and Alberta athletes an opportunity to go play in the States. So this will be our 6th trip down to the States this year. The second group of local athletes that'll be going there. We were in Hawaii earlier in the year where the boys competed at the Trans-Pacific Championship, which is the largest tournament on the West Coast in 2026. We've got 2 groups from the Lloydminster area heading down. Actually, they're both Rustlers club volleyball teams that'll be heading down to the Coastal Classic Championship in Myrtle Beach. I think the girls are pretty excited. We just finished up our regular club season now. It's kind of their off season, and I'm pretty excited to take these 2 really fun groups down and compete and have a lot of fun while we're there.
And Cailyn, when did you get your start?
I heard about CanWest this year, playing with the U18 Rustlers volleyball team. Ty introduced it to me, and he invited our team to participate, and then a bunch of us are coming together, and we're on that team together, and then we have a few underage girls coming up as well, which is really fun. So yeah, that's how I got into it.
And so just for you, Ty, how do you get this all set up, of course, these past 4 years and being able to get teams down there? What's kind of the logistics of getting that all set up to get these girls and boys their best opportunity to play volleyball down in the States?
Yeah, it's kind of a tedious process. There's a lot of regulations, insurance, all that kind of stuff that every athlete has to go through. Obviously, it's a bit different looking down in the States. The exposure aspect to it is kind of interesting because it's not really a well-known thing. These tournaments don't just pop up. You kind of have to be able to get invited and accepted into them. So we've been luckily growing over the past 4 years where we're starting to get invited into these larger tournaments now. I think this tournament has just over 500 teams competing in it. And I think the girls' first game is one of the top academies in Tennessee. So I managed to watch a little bit of film, and they're pretty legit girls down there. So it's pretty exciting. We've got a handful of girls on our team who are playing post-secondary. Cailyn's heading down to the States this fall and will be competing, as well as a couple other girls. So I'm super curious how our group of local athletes go and compete with some of the top American athletes on the East Coast.
And so first off with that, Cailyn, just is this your first time going down to the States to compete in volleyball? And even if it is not your first time, just how exciting is it to go down to Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, this is my first time going down to compete in the States, and I'm really excited because since I'm going to school there to play post-secondary volleyball, I'm excited to see what it looks like down there, and different systems and different teams, different skill levels, and yeah, it's really exciting for me.
And then just continuing on with that, how did you get approached to go down to the States and kind of that process of getting your tape down there and just how you kind of got recruited?
Yeah, so I'm on this app called NCAA, and basically it's a recruiting app for States teams in the U.S., and so I kind of just went on it for fun, wasn't really serious about it, just to get it on there, posted a few clips, and the school reached out to me, and we got talking, sent some more highlight videos, I guess, and then I signed there, and now I'm going for school.
Awesome. And so one thing I've noticed in my time being here in Lloydminster, and I mean, talking to all the wrestlers, coaches, and just in general, is how much volleyball has been growing over these past few years. And so for you, Ty, and also you, Cailyn, just how special and important is that growth in volleyball, and now getting to have these success stories where we're sending kids now down to the States to pursue their dreams of playing post-secondary volleyball in the big leagues in the NCAA?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the route that the Rustlers have created, Austin and Tay Dyer have done a phenomenal job of creating a pathway for these local athletes to succeed at the next level. Our team went to nationals and didn't have the result we wanted, but we played phenomenal and had a really good time. There's a local girl from Lloyd who just won a national silver medal in Emerson Matthews. So the program that the Rustlers are putting in place, Matt Peck, Josh Ryan, Austin and Taylor Dyer, are doing a phenomenal job building these pathways for these younger athletes. You look at our U16 boys and U15 boys, I believe there's 6 or 7 athletes that are on the verge of making Team Saskatchewan, and same thing on the girls' side. I think that they're doing a phenomenal job in building towards the next steps, and I think that with the leadership, with the Dyers in place, it's definitely something that we can achieve in the community.
Awesome. And then just for both, so then going down to Myrtle Beach, and then kind of for both of you, what's these next steps over these next few months? How are you going to continue to grow CanWest? And then, of course, for you, heading down to the States to play volleyball.
Yeah, so we've got Myrtle Beach while we're down there. That's kind of the next big one we have. June 15th, we have our ID camp for the Trans-Pacific Championship in Honolulu in 2026. That one takes up a lot of our time. We got 4 teams going down. Just announced our final coaching staff. So that's Josh Ryan and Alexi Waleser, who's just now coming back from Europe from playing pro there. So another athlete that was in the Lloydminster community playing pro overseas, coming back into the community to help grow and build. So that's what we've got in the next couple years, or next couple months. And what about you?
Yeah, Myrtle Beach, and then after Myrtle Beach, I'm completely done my U18 year of any club-related volleyball, which is sad, but and then over the summer, off-season training, obviously. I go down in August, at the start of August, so which is kind of early for here, I guess. But yeah, just like off-season training till then.
And of course, big night tonight here in Lloydminster and all across Alberta, because the Oilers are going to be playing that game for. I don't know if both of you have been watching, but just what's your guys' prediction for tonight's game?
So funny story, Cailyn actually avoided our team activities to go to the watch party in Edmonton while we're at Nationals. So she's a little bit more of an Oiler faithful than I am, but Oilers have it in 5. That's my prediction.
Yeah, like the sound of that. I think that's the right pick. Yes, for sure. And then just finally coming back to Myrtle Beach, if people are interested in watching it, is there a way that they can watch you guys play, and just kind of when is it taking place as well?
Yeah, absolutely. Both links to the U16 and U18 teams will be on our socials, so CanWest Sports Group. We both play Saturday afternoon, which is kind of midday our time. It's a 2-hour time change. Yeah, they'll be posted on Facebook. They'll be able to check it out and see what these girls are able to do down there.
And what's that Facebook page again, quick?
CanWest Sports Group.
CanWest Sports Group. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you both so much for all of the information today, and we will then just go on to a quick commercial break. But again, thank you guys so much for having us back.
Thank you.
At Lloydminster and District Co-op, membership matters more. Because being part of a co-op means you're connected to something bigger than yourself. From long-held legacy by those who built our communities, to people you call family, friends, and neighbors. When you're a Lloyd Co-op member, you're an owner in a local business that prides itself on purpose alongside profit. You earn cash back, you help support causes that matter most, and you're building a better way of life for the next generation. Membership matters more.
How can you help support the oil and gas industry and jobs in Western Canada? The answer is closer than you think. Sell your scrap metals to PWM Steel. PWM sells scrap iron to Evraz, located in Regina. Evraz's #1 customer is the energy sector, building pipes and plates for the oil and gas industry. PWM Steel is your locally owned metal recycler and steel service center in the area. Plus, they're a strong supporter of the community.
PWM Steel, your top steel supplier for Alberta and Saskatchewan for...
At Jason Arden Associates Cooperators, we're proud to be a top-rated local insurance company that offers flexible solutions and expert advice for all your insurance and investment needs. We'll work with you to tailor your insurance specific to your needs, and we offer investment advice that always puts you first. At Cooperators, one of our core values is to give back to the communities that we live in. Thanks to the support of our clients in Lloydminster and area, in 2023, Jason Arden Associates has donated $40,000 to local nonprofits, charities, students, athletes, and other special events. How does your insurance company support our community?
Welcome back, everybody, and we'll start with Wellings Lloydminster is a brand new community within a community and is excited to help you live life to the fullest. At Wellings, their mission is to enable connection, build community, and enrich the lives of their 55-plus members. Discover a new way of living and retirement and experience more freedom at Wellings of Lloydminster. Independence speaks for itself, and the social opportunities outside your door are endless. You can visit Wellings at Lloydminster at 3211 72nd Avenue on the Alberta side. It's a gorgeous one and two bedroom villas are now available, and 2 bedroom villas include a garage. For more information, visit wellingsoflloydminster.com. The Oilers can take a stranglehold on the Western Conference Final tonight with a win over the Dallas Stars. You can catch that game and all the Oilers playoff action here at the Canadian Brewhouse tonight and throughout the Oilers' run to the Cup. Game 4 starts at 6 p.m. and the Canadian Brewhouse is the place to catch it. It's also an exciting time here in Lloydminster as it's going to be Rugby Day in Lloydminster tomorrow. And Stephanie Bargen is one of the core organizers of that event. She joins us now along with Keyanna Bannerman, the president of Lloydminster Reapers Rugby. And so thank you both for being here today to be on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, so let's start with a little bit about Lloydminster Rugby Day. Just kind of when did you guys decide to officially have a day specifically for the great sport of rugby?
Right, so it's probably a couple months ago that one of our board members and coaches, Joe Tishkowski, brought it to me and just said, let's try and organize something to get more people out watching rugby, more people in the community to just see the sport and there to cheer on some of our local teams. So then we kind of took it from there, put out the word, and everyone was really eager to jump on board and join us. So it's really grown from what we thought might just be a game and people out to watch to a lot of local teams that are going to be out playing tomorrow.
Yeah, I think everyone is just excited for rugby to be showcased here because we don't get a lot of opportunities to host games, especially like all of the different clubs and divisions at the same time. So when Steph put it out on Facebook, everyone just kind of jumped on board.
And so with you being part of the Reapers, and so tell me a little bit about the Reapers and then some of the other clubs and divisions that are going to be there for tomorrow.
Well, Reapers kind of end the day. We're just doing a touch game with the community, so anyone can come out and just kind of learn a little bit from us. It's non-contact. Hopefully it helps us get a couple extra adult players in the neighborhood, but it's just kind of a fun way to end the day where everyone can kind of take what they learned that day and implement it and learn a new sport.
And then just in terms of what are some of the other local teams that joined in with this Rugby Day tomorrow?
Right, so it's going to start around 3:30. We have some of the middle school teams are playing, so ES Laird and Bishop Lloyd have teams playing. And then we actually have Meadow Lake bringing a middle school team and Cold Lake bringing a middle school team to play as well. And then kind of our big game of the day is at 4 o'clock. It's our LCHS Barons girls 15s team is hosting zones, so they'll host Cold Lake in kind of a playdown. If they win that game, they get to go to provincials next weekend. And then after that, our Lloydminster Minis Rugby is going to take the field. So Rivers West has some drills and warm-ups set up for them, and then they're going to just do some scrimmage games. And then, like Keyanna said, an open game of touch rugby at the end. So that's anyone's welcome to join. Spectators, parents, siblings, whoever wants to jump in on that's encouraged.
And so let's talk a little bit more about the Reapers themselves. Just tell me a little bit about the mission statement and what the Reapers are really aiming to do beyond just Rugby Day tomorrow, which of course you want to recruit a few new members, but then just in general.
Well, the Reapers have been around for a really long time, since I was a little kid, actually, and Steph coached me, and she was the first person that I played Reapers with. So it's not a fresh club by any means, but COVID was kind of hard on it, and I think lots of sports in general struggled with COVID. Sorry, these are sliding off. And so the Reapers are really just like pushing for inclusive sports in Lloyd and trying to get everyone a place where they can feel welcome. Rugby is a really cool game because there's a spot for everyone. Like, it doesn't matter your shape or your size, there's always a spot. And so we're trying to really push that in our community and just get more people aware of the opportunities that are here. And then we do affiliate with teams in Edmonton, so it's kind of cool because you can participate as much or as little as you want. Like, you can just come and practice and do it for the cardio, or you can affiliate and go play on an Edmonton team almost every weekend. So we're just kind of trying to open people's eyes to that opportunity.
And so, of course, you mentioned COVID's been a tough time, but how has rugby as a sport been growing in Lloydminster and area over these last few years? Of course, I've heard a little bit about it here and there from my previous job in the news department, but just what's really been driving some of the more rugby here in Lloydminster, and what's some other ways besides Rugby Day that are going to help continue to grow the sport here in the border city?
I think the high school programs have been huge in recent years. The girls have gone to provincials multiple times. They've had a really consistent coach. And the boys just had a really good rebuild year as well. So that has been, I think, a big part of why it's growing again. But we also started hosting a tournament. So in September 27th, it'll be this year, we host in Lashburn, and we get their senior hockey team to come out and kind of take care of some of the behind the scenes stuff, so they get it as a fundraiser too. And we host teams from Saskatoon and Edmonton in a 7-style tournament. And just, again, attention to the sport makes such a huge difference.
All right, fantastic. And so, mentioned it earlier, but it's a big, big day here in Lloydminster, and of course across Alberta. The Edmonton Oilers can take a big lead in the in their series against the Dallas Stars in the Western Conference Finals. Just, I know you two maybe aren't the biggest hockey fans, but what's your vibes tonight? Who do you think is going to get her done in Edmonton, of course?
I think the Oilers have to win, right, for Canada? They're carrying Canada at this point.
It's a tough question for me as a Flames fan, so I'm just kind of holding on.
Well,
but I do think they'll pull it off.
Well, at least you were a fan of the Maple Leafs, so can't be sad about that. But yes, I appreciate that, and thank you guys so much. But one last time, just with the event taking place tomorrow, when's it really going to start, and some of the major highlights that if people want to come for specific parts of the day, when they can come?
Yeah, so 3:30 is going to be kickoff for our middle school teams, and then it'll just kind of carry on throughout the afternoon. We're going to have a barbecue and tons of games, tons of opportunity. You know, if you want to come out and watch, just find someone on the sidelines that looks like they're into it and ask them questions. I know sometimes people don't really know what's going on in rugby, and so that's why they're a little bit apprehensive to join or to come watch, but lots of people there that are happy to explain what's going on and happy to have you out. Looks like it's going to be a nice day. So.
Yeah, watch for people in Reapers gear. They're always happy to help, explain things, ask all the questions. Yeah.
Awesome, perfect. Well, thank you both so much again for coming on the show today, and we'll be catching up with Wade Redden. I caught up with him earlier today to talk about One Final Drive for Healthcare, which takes place in Lloydminster next Wednesday. Now tickets for the golf are sold out, but you can still purchase tickets for the banquet at LRHF.ca. And we'll be right back here at the Canadian Brewhouse with Wade Redden, and we'll also get his take on the Oilers' domination over the Stars in the series so far.
I'm Brian Zinchuk of PipelineOnline.ca. I used to be a pipeliner, and I've spent the last 15 years reporting on energy in Saskatchewan. PipelineOnline.ca provides comprehensive coverage of light oil, heavy oil, lithium, helium, power production including coal, wind, solar, geothermal, natural gas, and nuclear. There's a lot happening in Saskatchewan's energy sector, and Pipeline Online is there for all of it. No one else comes even close.
It's more than just taxes at L&A CPA. Assurance, accounting, retirement planning, estate planning, business consulting, financial consulting, farm program support, and bookkeeping. But yes, there is always taxes. The team at LNA CPA is committed to helping you achieve your best results and will be there to assist you every step of the way. LNA CPA, with offices in Provost, Vermilion, and Lloydminster.
Drafted second overall in the 1995 NHL draft with over 1,000 NHL games and over 400 NHL points, the pride and joy of Hillmont, Saskatchewan. I'm very pleased to be joined by Wade Redden, and so thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Yeah, pleasure's mine. Thanks, Thomas.
Wade, you are going to be a part of the One Final Drive for Healthcare, as well as the Celebrity Golf Classic here in Lloydminster, which is raising money for the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation. Tell me why it is so important for you and your family to help support the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation and other health initiatives here at home and across the world as well.
This golf tournament dates back quite a ways. Cory Cross and I can't remember, it was 5 or 6 years actually of raising money for the Health Foundation and other charities in Lloydminster. Obviously Lloydminster is a place I can still consider home. Growing up in the area just north in Hillmont, still have strong ties there, still have lots of family and friends that are back there, and still means a lot to me, that community. Excited to come back and be a part and see all the friends and family and raise some money for a great cause. The Health Foundation is obviously an integral part of the community, and my mom was a nurse for over 30 years, and since her passing, we've had a scholarship set up in her name for nursing students to take advantage of and use as they progress and become nurses in the community as well. So certainly a great initiative, a great cause, and a lot of great people that are helping put it on.
All righty, awesome. And so tonight, there's a very big, very important game for the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Dallas Stars. And of course, you, with your time with the Ottawa Senators back in the early 2000s, had some really important games, including getting all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals in the 2006-07 season. And so what were some of the keys to success for those Ottawa teams and some of the things that you see in this Edmonton team that have been able to make them get to the conference finals for 3 years in a row, and just what has been those things that you noticed between the two teams that really bring them that success?
It's been fun watching. Obviously, as a lot of people are in that area, I was a Oiler fan growing up as well, so I still kind of have a tie to the Oilers, and really awesome to see how well they're doing the last number of years. Some of the talent they have. It's a fun time of year to be playing. I know, looking back at the time in Ottawa, we had a few runs where we went deep in the playoffs, and I think what the success that I believe is a huge part is just the team kind of coming together, just the way they can. I guess it's hard to really put into words, but just a feeling that's generated, a bond that's built between teammates that they just find a way to win games at this time of year. You can look at all the teams that even have been eliminated in the playoffs to this point, and you could make an argument, or you could look on paper that every team is such a strong group, but it's pretty special when a team comes together and is able to have success at this time. So that's something I'm really proud of in my time in Ottawa, was some of those years where we had deep runs in the playoffs, and so many great memories of those days of winning those big games. Even the losses that happened were so memorable, and you learn so much from them. So hopefully the Oilers can keep going. Like you said, they've been 3 years in a row in this position, and last year getting even further and right to the brink. So hopefully they can just get that last step this year and finish it off.
And you mentioned teams coming together, and you were one of the earlier members of the Ottawa Senators back in their very early years, back in those 90s years. And of course, that had some growing pains, and the Oilers, of course, went through their growing pains after their last big Stanley Cup playoff push. And even now, the current edition of the Ottawa Senators have finally made the playoffs again, and were, of course, not as far as they wanted to go. But just how does it all come together, and how important those growing pains are from a team, and then being able to eventually get to the point where they're now getting to the playoffs and making deep runs?
Yeah, it's hard to. It's an art form, and obviously when you got a guy like a couple of guys like McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, those guys are so dedicated and so driven to have success, and they're the best players in the world. So I think those guys are a huge part of that team, obviously. But yeah, you look at the whole group, and year to year you learn and you make changes, and there's been the management has gone different ways and added new pieces, and there's all those things that I guess at the end of the day you need a little luck on your side too. Like, there's only one team that wins it at the end of the day, so there's so many teams that are just knocking at the door and right there and so close, and it's just a small line between winning and losing. So it's you really have to have a buy-in from everyone, 100% buy-in if you want to get it done at the end of the day. And Edmonton, so close. And you look at Florida and how, they've been, they're in the same boat as well. They're 2 years in a row going to the finals, winning it last year, and looking pretty poised to get back to the finals again this year. So it's a special thing. It's teams that have success year after year and find a way to win. I mean, that's just a special accomplishment.
All right, and so just to finish off, we'll come back to the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation. The tickets are sold out for the golf tournament itself, but they're still selling tickets for the banquet afterwards. And so just talk to me a little bit about that and how important it is, and to support the Lloydminster Health Foundation and all the other great people that are going to be there to make this a world-class event.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, it's like I said, Cory and I did it for a number of years, and then Scotty Hartnell and Clark MacArthur and Braden Holtby, they took it on, and it was a great great number of years where they raised a lot of money and brought the community together and brought a lot of awareness to and I guess the people that were in attendance, and they could come and have some fun. They donate the money, and all go to a great cause. So I'm looking forward to it again this year. It's always they do such a great job of organizing things and getting great entertainment and a lot of great people around. So it'll be another fun year this year, and like you said, one last drive. So we're gonna go out with a bang.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Wade, for all the information today, and I can't wait to see you here in Lloydminster for the Celebrity Golf Tournament coming up in a few weeks.
All right. Yeah, we'll see you, Thomas. Thank you. We'll look forward to seeing you then as well.
Well, thank you to all of our guests today, and Live with Kurt Price is going to be back on Thursday at the new Lloydminster Nissan. Sarah Bennett will be hosting, and she's got a big announcement with Quick Dick McDick and Jinky and Jarek. That's at 10 a.m. from the new Lloydminster Nissan. Enjoy the hockey game, everyone, and the tacos tonight here at the Canadian Brewhouse, and catch the Oilers and the Stars. I've been Thomas Wildman, and you have yourself a great rest of your evening.